Hello everyone, it's Kat, and I said in my last Star Stable video I wasn't sure if I was going to be training this horse, and I am. I actually was, my last video I recorded yesterday, so yeah, I got my horse level 13, and we're gonna max it by the end of this video. That's when I'm gonna stop recording, and today I thought it would be fun if I read some SSO unpopular opinions while I trained, because there's a lot of unpopular opinions. I feel like there's always constantly things people are complaining about with SSO, so it would be interesting to see maybe other things that perhaps not as many people are complaining about, and to see if I either agree or disagree. Starting with Mr. Hermit, because that's where I left yesterday. So I'm gonna be linking the specific post or multiple posts if I pick another one, just because this one has like almost 200 comments, so I'll probably go through at least most of it, if not all of it, because a lot of it's just like replies to other people. But this person said, Starshine is beautiful and I'm upset they haven't done more with it yet, or done much with it. And honestly, I agree. I don't really go to Starshine all that much to begin with, but I do think it's a really pretty area. The races aren't too bad, it's just for some reason I just forget that there's races there, I guess, even though it can get you like 800 horse XP if you do the solo and the opponent ones. But it's just like never at the forefront of my mind unless it's a day where I'm like trying to get all the races done. I'm like, oh yeah, Starshine exists. But it's such a pretty area. I agree that they should definitely like do something more there, or maybe like, I don't know, maybe add like some random quests over there, like side quests, just to get people over there more and more interested in the area. Because it's so pretty, and I just, at least for me personally, I don't go there every time I log on. Like, there's specific places I go to for races and everything, and that is usually not one of them. Oh my god, I suck at this race. Okay, so somebody made like a huge list, so if I keep crashing, it's because I'm trying to read while I'm recording. This person said, I don't know if these are unpopular opinions, but here's my list. I think trading should be a thing. I know there's a concern for hacking and whatnot, but I play several MMO type games and allow trading and have never had issues. They could enable something to make it safer. Ignore that I suck at this game. I'm trying to read, which is throwing me off. Okay, for example, bro, okay. For example, Steam has trading, and if you have it set up, accept the trade, confirm it through email, and then have up to 24 hours to back out, then I would love to get my husband to play and be able to trade him a horse or two to get him started. Oh, that would be really cool to like trade horses as well. Like if there's an old horse, that would be cool actually, if there was like a rarity system. Maybe it would be annoying actually, but just to be like, oh, I have one of the old Gen 1s that got taken out of the game, like what would you trade me for it, blah blah blah. I think that would be kind of interesting. I just hope that that wouldn't make the game like community more toxic, because I used to play Animal Jam growing up. Like I started playing that in like 2012 or something, so the game hadn't really been out for too long, and I feel like now the game is just like, why do I keep crashing when I go forward? What is there that I like keep crashing into? Is it Hermit? I don't understand. Sorry, I just want to collect this. Oh my god, I'm so sorry, Rainaura. But yeah, what I was saying basically is with Animal Jam now, I don't play it consistently, I just kind of go on there randomly. But whenever I go on there, oh, I did both races, I'm dumb. When I do go on there, I feel like it's just people trying to trade and people like getting angry with each other, and I wouldn't want that to happen with Star Stable, obviously. But I do think trading would be a really cool idea, even just like for clothes. It doesn't have to be with horses, but I'm sure that's obviously what people want because it's a horse game, but you know, I think it's a good idea, honestly. Okay, so the next thing on their list was they said that the horse naming system bothers them. Oftentimes it only stresses me out. Oftentimes it stresses me out and I choose something random only to wish I could name my horse something else once I get halfway through training. I would like to be able to change names for free at any time. I know SSO has to make its income by charging star coins for name changes for horse, irks me a little. Yeah, I feel like that's something you should be allowed to do. Like if you gave, like say you've been playing the game since you were like 9 years old or something and you made like some really dumb names but you really like the horses, I think Star Stable should let you be able to change it. Like, I know a lot of people don't really care about SSO names and they just like have nicknames for their horses, but I still think, I don't know, like, I was talking in a previous video saying I have a Morgan that I just call Morgan. I can't even think of what her Jorvik name is, but I still think, like, if you don't like your Jorvik name, you should be allowed to change it as well, so I totally agree with this person. Alright, this person's talking about stable care as well, which I think a lot of people actually are gonna agree with. Stable care, I dislike I have to pay for stable care just to keep horses happy, and for those who do not buy star coins, or can't justify, paying with star coins to keep their horses happy, having to care for all those horses every day is unrealistic for both kids and adults that play this game. I think something implemented where horses you have are in your stable get cared for free. Horses that are not in the stable, if you choose to bring them in, would still have to work their happiness back up, or from that point on you could choose to pay star coins to make them to a vet to improve their mood. Again, I understand the SSO is to make their money, I fully support it, however charging for a lot of small things is like a tad frustrating in my opinion. I agree. I think like a lot of people likely buy star coins for like new horses that come out. Like I got Lifetime Star Rider a few years ago and that was like, I mean, I think it's expensive, but it's worth it. Like if you know or think that you're gonna be playing this game for a long time, I would just get Lifetime because I've been playing this game so on and off. Like I've been really consistent recently, but before I would play like a couple times a year and then not play anymore. But because I have Lifetime Star Rider, I was still always like a Lifetime Star Rider. So it was worth it to get the Lifetime Star Rider for me because now I'm back into the game and I get all the perks of like being a Star Rider. So I agree that things like stable care, even like, I mean, maybe even implementing it as like a Star Rider only thing, like Star Riders get like happy mood horses, whereas like if you're a non-Star Rider you have to care for them. Like I feel like that could be something they could do, because then it would still encourage people to spend money, because they would be like, oh well, if I want my horses to be happy all the time and have like stable care, I can just get a lifetime membership or any kind of membership, like the month one or 3 months, or I don't remember what the options are, but you know what I mean. I think that would be something that they could implement, which is a little different from what this person was talking about, but I agree with them in the sense that it's kind of silly that it's like 7 star coins for 1 day of stable care, and that adds up quickly. Like I get stable care because I have like, I can't remember how many horses I said I had last time, but I probably have almost 40, and imagine like manually caring for 40 horses every day. And there's so many people that have way more than me or way less than me, and either way it's like annoying. So I think it's something that they should update and not, I don't know, just make it like kind of pricey. But I also agree with the person when they're like, obviously Star Stable has to make money, so I get it, but it's also kind of frustrating. Okay, this is the 4th thing that they mentioned. The newer horses are lovely, but on some of them where the hind legs connects, the flank looks a tad like a wet noodle flopping around. It makes me chuckle, but at the same time bothers me to where I try not to look at it too much. I did not go up all the way. Someone brought up quarter horses, and that is one I have to agree on. Since I am biased and own a couple quarter horses in real life, I'll be super bummed if they miss the mark on Mustangs as well, since the Mustang was my first horse and he is still with me to this day. That's honestly something I haven't noticed. The only thing I've noticed with, I haven't noticed anything with newer horses, honestly, but with like the older horses, how they jump like all silly instead of like galloping. But obviously that was their older models and they don't really update those anymore, so that's reasonable that they were still like starting out how to function the game. So not saying that I disagree with them, but it's just personally I don't notice that. Then they said Dino Valley. I would probably spend more time there if there was an option to turn the fog off. It hurts my eyeballs. I haven't been in Dino Valley in so long, so again, I can't really comment on that. I think they should look into making dressage mini games, much like races. So many players RP dressage in game, and I know having some form of it would make a lot of people happy. We have dressage saddles and dressage themed arenas, why not events? I think that would be pretty cool, like a dressage event, or like how they said the mini games. I personally don't really care about dressage, but now that I'm on Nightstar, I see so many people doing dressage or doing club events, and I think it would be fun to be able to do that even like with your club, or if you just have a group of friends and want to do dressage together. I think that could just be another fun thing to be added to the game. especially like when they're adding dressage items, it would only make sense to have like a dressage type thing, but you know, Star Stable is a little silly sometimes. Clothing slash tack with no stats. Some of better looking gear that I like always has no stats. Oh my god, I'm sorry. Always has no stats or drastically worse than what I could be wearing. I want to accessorize without having to give up all the perks of stats. So I agree with that, but I also get like, I don't know if they pick and choose what is gonna be, like what the stats are gonna be, because like you would think like nicer items would have better, I don't know, stats I guess. I don't even know what my stats are in the outfit I'm wearing. Like, okay, I guess it's not bad, but it's also newer, so maybe that's why. I don't know. These comments are like a year or so old, by the way. I probably should have said that at the beginning. So some of these might have changed from then, but I don't know. I also realized I didn't care for my horse. I know it's an online game, but I don't like seeing other players in the game. When a new quest comes out, everyone is crowding around and it becomes difficult to complete the quest. Somebody also replied to that comment, said you can turn it off, and they said maybe it's just on mobile. Alright, this one I feel like I'm gonna disagree with, because this is like I've used a wild horse on so many videos, but okay. I hate magical horses. There's too many of them, and none of them make any sense. They're given some random lore to try to fit the theme into Jorvik, but it barely ever makes any sense. How cool would it be if you could actually see them in the wild around the island, or at least have an NPC mention them, have them appear in a quest, anything. Anything to make them all then more just collectibles. All they are is a cash grab trying to trigger your FOMO so you can buy them as soon as you can, because oh no, they're going to disappear. I don't know when these horses came out, the like C ones, but because I genuinely have no memory of buying these whatsoever, but I am kind of agreeing with them in the sense that I get FOMO with them, because I remember those like little wild horses that I was using in my first Star Stable video. I didn't get them when they first came out, but then they brought them back and I was like, oh my god, thank goodness, because I want to collect like all the wild horses. And I definitely do not have all the wild horses, but I do like collecting them because I like that they look, I like the designs of a lot of them and like just their wild coats, and some of them I prefer in their non-wild coats. So I do think it would be cool if they were in a quest though, but I don't mind if they're just kind of like for collecting, because I kind of just ignore quests a lot because I love training so much I forget that like quests are a thing. So honestly, I don't disagree with this person. Like, I think their feelings are valid and everything, but I guess I'm just neutral to their comments because it just like, I think it would be cool, and at the same time I don't really care. Somebody said, I think they've given up on any good story and are mostly just pushing the game as a horse buying simulator now. Again, I just don't really pay attention to the story that much. I actually saw a Star Stable Reddit post recently where they kind of like, people were like, can you summarize the story? Because like, I've been playing for so long I kind of forget some of the stuff that's been happening. So from what I've gathered, like we're trying to fight some alien thing? I have no idea, but that's kind of what I gathered. You would think I would know after playing for so long, but I just don't pay attention to anything. And I think I agree. Like, I feel like a lot of the story quests doesn't interest me that much. The last quests that I've actually been reading are the ones in Hollow Woods, because I just think it's so cool. I don't know, I've always been like a really big fantasy person, so I think this game is really cool because like, even though it does have some like very realistic features, there's also some very like fairy tale-esque features, and that's something that I can appreciate. So I don't know, but according to the main story, I really don't know what the heck is going on, so that's all. I can't really comment on that either. Okay, this one is, I really hate the global shop. I think it's so much cooler if you have to go to places for clothes and stuff, especially because of the shopping center. I feel like I disagree, only because it's kind of a pain to get to like the mall and stuff, especially because like I prefer horseback. Obviously that's why I play Star Stable, because I like horses. So I actually was doing quests like in the Jorvik city recently, and it was really annoying to just have to run around everywhere. Maybe if I was with friends and stuff it would be more fun, but just like by myself I'm like, I'd rather be riding my horse right now. And I know there's shops that you can get tack and stuff that aren't at the mall, but a lot of stuff is located in the mall because that's how malls are. So I don't know, I think I kind of disagree, just because, I mean, I get the appeal of like, oh, I get to go to all these places, but it's also like, I've been trying to save my shillings so I can buy the rest of this outfit, and the last thing I want is to have to trailer to like a bunch of different places or have to run to a bunch of different places just to get clothes. If I could just simply click a button and it's like, okay, here's the clothes. So I think I have to disagree with this one, only because, I don't know, maybe I'm just lazy. Somebody said, I hate how magic horses are just reskins of other ones, and why are so much of the 3rd gen horses so stiff? Magic horses, I guess that's true. I don't know. I don't really have much of an opinion on that either. I don't pay attention to like the codes and stuff and the models, so that's something that I just don't really notice, because I don't know. I can't even tell some of the breeds apart sometimes because I just don't know that much about horses. Okay, this person said that certain tag has to be tied to only one or some horse breeds. Like, come on. On the Western bridles that can be used on Tennessee Walkers would look so cool on many other horses. And the saddle pads. I agree. I hate when it's like, oh, this doesn't work on this horse, or like, oh, it's outdated so it doesn't work on this horse. Like, I don't know, maybe it's complicated to like edit it and make it be able to fit on more horses. Why can I not click on this? I don't know, maybe it's just a coding thing, but I do agree, like, I wish that all tag and all saddles and everything and bridle, yada yada, would all fit, because it's just so frustrating to like have items that you like and it's like, oh, I can't even put it on this horse. That's cool. Yeah, don't mind that at all. Oh my gosh, I just exited out of Reddit on accident. Okay, I'm gonna kind of ignore stuff that talks about specific breeds because I just... Okay, somebody said the Jorvik wild horses shouldn't be purchasable. Again, have to disagree. I love the wild horses so much. I think they're so cool. I would cry if they weren't purchasable. Well, I guess I wouldn't, because if they weren't purchasable to begin with, I would be like, oh, okay. But since they are, I'm like, no, I wouldn't want to have to like part with them. I don't know, I think they're so cool. But then again, I do really like fantasy, so that could be part of it. Okay, somebody said not entirely sure how unpopular mine actually are. They just seem unpopular in comparison to what I see talked about. They said, Star Stable listens to their player base more than any game that I have ever played. Nearly all their features come out of user requests and user feedback. There is just literally only so much people can create. I agree how often horses are released is annoying, but typically that's in the hands of sales/business analysts and not the people actually building the game. The second thing they said is, I don't really think that this is that unpopular, but rarely criticized. I used to work in quality control, and their team actually doesn't know what they're doing in testing. It usually falls on how much time is given for testing / lack of resources for the QA team. This really kicked in the Halloween update, but poor testing has always been a problem. It is also showed with the new character beta testing, which was actually alpha testing. The point of the new characters is to expand body types, gender expression, and racial diversity, but they collected absolutely zero demographic information in the sign-up sheet. I know this bit isn't unpopular, but letting all the ambassadors test wasn't a good idea because it gives biased results. I don't know what to say about that. I think I don't really know about the new character testing. Obviously the new characters have been out for like a hot minute, so I don't know. I don't know anything about the testing or the testing that went on or the beta or the alpha or whatever. So I can't really say anything, but I think that Star Stable should be being fair to their players and, you know, letting anybody be able to test, like, or not anybody, but, you know, being diverse, having variety is always good. Okay. The next thing they said is this game is way more fun than it used to be. People are just nostalgic for their childhood. They said more than that, but I'm gonna comment right now that I agree. I think there's way more races and stuff to do now. There's so many more cool horses out. Looking at some of the old models and seeing what we have now, is just crazy. And seeing like the updated areas, like sure I miss some of the old areas because it reminds me of when I was first playing, but we've gotten so many great updates. Like I don't think anybody actually wants old SSO back. Then it used to be people are just nostalgic for their childhood. Where the heck am I going? It genuinely used to be so boring, even though I loved it, but I stopped playing for nearly 2 years once I went to university till they put more effort into bringing the game up to date. When I was younger, there was a year between story quests one time, lol. And then this is their last thing that they brought up. I don't think it's unpopular to say that we're actually in Gen 4 of horses, but it may be unpopular that I think that the start/middle of Gen 3 was the best generation for the game. Andalusians, ETB, Irish Cob, Nabstrupper, etc. Of course, many of those horses have their flaws, and I do think that the new horses look incredible, but they're starting to move outside of the art style of the game and are just further making tech debt that they're always having to heavily struggle to keep up with. I don't know 100% what they mean by that, but I'm wondering if that correlates with the issues with the tack. Like if they're making a horse, like, I don't know how to explain it, like making the different horse breeds different than they used to, I guess, if that's making it so that some tack doesn't work on some horses. If somebody wants to comment on that, please, because I don't really know 100% what the heck I'm talking about. Okay, so this is another long one where they give a bunch of different opinions. So first off, the new joystick update, hate it. It came out of nowhere, scant few people wanted it, and giving us no option to toggle back has literally killed my interest in the game. I log on for like 5 minutes a day now, and it's because I actually hate riding so much with the new controls. I sent in a complaint, but SSO basically said, deal with it. I have no idea what the heck that means. Oh, is that for the app? If they're talking about the app, I totally agree. I am not a mobile gamer, but I really love SSO. So I was like, oh, maybe I'll download the app so like when I'm on break at work, I can play it for a little bit. So I downloaded it the other day when I was like in the car. And it looks great. It looks great for a mobile game, but I don't like the whole joystick thing. I don't know what it was like before, but it is awful. Like, I feel like I have no control. I feel like, not that I have no control, but I feel like the horses turn really slow. Like, in comparison to mobile, I mean, not mobile, on the computer, on PC. Because I've played, like, Roblox and stuff on mobile and on PC, and I feel like even then they use a joystick, and it's so much smoother. Like, it feels pretty much the same on PC and on mobile, so I don't understand why Star Stable is having, like, issues with that. Like, why? I don't know, does anybody else notice that? Not that it feels delayed, but just that it feels like we're turning more slowly. Let me know, because I literally only played mobile once, and I did not like that, but I know there's a decent amount of people that play mobile instead of PC, so tell me what you think. Alright, so like I said, this came out last year, this post, so this comment's about 2023, so we'll see whether we agree or disagree. A lot of stuff that they have planned for 2023 is meh. Glitter on a turd to distract from the smell, basically. SSO can't even fix its own bugs. What am I doing? Where am I going? SSO can't even fix its own bugs without creating more. How is it going to handle the likes of breeding? Plus, didn't SSO get rid of a lot of horses? Get a lot of horse trait related stuff like weather durability, only now they're bringing in things like horse personalities. I'd actually much rather they just fix and update what we've got before, even think about adding other stuff, especially stuff that I'm not interested in or I know is going to cause inconsequential or actually cause more problems. That's something I kind of agree with too. Like, I remember the weather durability thing. Like, to go into Dino Valley, you had to have a horse that could, like, tolerate the cold, or you weren't able to go as quickly. And I thought that was pretty cool, because it, like, I mean, obviously that was probably a way for them to be like, oh, you have to spend money because you need a horse that can tolerate the cold. And now it's just like any horse can go there, and I feel like that kind of took away the fun of like, oh, I gotta bring my blah 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 horse to go here. And I don't know, I just feel like that was kind of dumb of them. I don't know, it was just cool to have that feature. Maybe some people found it annoying if they didn't like any of the like horses that can deal with the cold, and they were like, oh, I don't want to feel like I have to buy one. But for me, I feel like it was stupid they got rid of that, because it kind of like made you feel more immersed, like, oh, obviously this is a horse you would ride in like wintry or in more cold places. I don't know. I just think it was dumb that they did that, because I do actually remember that being a thing when I first started playing, and then out of nowhere they're like, okay, just kidding, we're getting rid of that. This obviously didn't mention the Winter Village because this comment was posted before the Winter Village, but for those of you that were playing during the Winter Village update, it was so annoying when you would do literally anything and then suddenly there would be like hay in your hand, or when you were in the Winter Village and suddenly you'd be holding like a chainsaw or something. Because I thought like maybe it was just my game glitching out, because the first time I noticed it I was like, why is my character holding hay? Because I was like, oh, maybe I just fed my horse and it's just glitching, whatever. And then it kept happening like the next few days, next few weeks, and I'm like, okay, this is really getting irritating. And then I watch Coco Rosewater. I used to watch some other Genshin Star Stable YouTubers, but recently I've only been watching her videos, and she was having that same issue as well. And I saw people on Reddit having that issue too, and I'm like, oh my god, how are they not fixing this? Like, I felt like that went on for so long, especially for it being such like a popular, I don't know, bug. I'm just like, Star Stable, get it together, because this is not fun when I'm constantly holding a freaking chainsaw or a bottle or a bucket of water. Like, I don't understand. I feel like sometimes Star Stable just doesn't focus on the right things. Like, maybe some people thought it was funny, because I think it is kind of funny, like, if your character just randomly starts holding a chainsaw, but I don't know, it would just get irritating sometimes, and I'm like, man, I don't want to have to deal with this. Okay, the same person said, honestly, a lot of the players are the worst thing about the game. Elitists acting like the Regina George, quirky trolls spamming global, ... Honestly, I don't pay any attention to global most of the time, but I have had my fair share of weird people in this game, so I don't doubt that these people can make you miserable. Okay. They also said, horse sizing on SSO. Some ponies are just comically undersized, while the only draft horse that actually looks to scale is the Shire. How a Percheron can barely be bigger than a Warren Blood is baffling. Again, I don't know a lot about horse breeds, but the I do think that some of the horse sizing is very interesting. Okay, somebody said that Steve's is way too busy. I never understood that. Like, now that Steve's has been updated, I still think it looks nice, but I feel like it's a weird area to be like congregating in. Like, I feel like it made sense before because there was the whole like little fencing area, but now like I don't know, it just feels like such a random spot for people to be like hanging out at. And when I'm trying to do like the race and stuff and there's like people over there, I'm like, dude, can you please move so I can freaking click on Steve? But other than that, like, whatever, people can have their spots, I guess. I'm not gonna complain about where they decide to hang out and chat, but there's always like a bajillion people over there, and it's like, I don't know, because I am like a solo player. I don't have friends that play this game, so, and I haven't really made friends inside of Star Stable itself, so I always play by myself. And I don't know, I just think it's weird to just be in Star Stable and just standing around, but maybe if I had friends in this game I would. I don't know, maybe I would be just like them. I have no idea. Okay, so here's a person that listed a bunch, and the first one they said is the inconsistency with art style in the horses. It's not even just between the gens, it's between almost every horse they release. I understand minor changes or different styles with different gens, but the style of the horse changed drastically with each release. Some are really cartoony, some are really realistic. I don't like how inconsistent it is. The Jorvik Frisians have the most random, gross, and goofy idle animations. They said the JFs, and I'm assuming that's what they mean. I don't really know the abbreviations for horses, not gonna lie. Level 14. I I don't really pay attention to the horses too much. Like, I mean, I do, because it's a horse game, and I'm riding horses all the time. But I feel like it is kind of weird if Star Stable's like, oh, I think the cartoony look is pretty cute. Yeah, let's go with that. And then all of a sudden they're like, no, let's go with realistic on this breed. Oh, but with this breed, we're gonna go cartoony, because I think that's what we should do. Like, if they're gonna keep flipping back and forth, at that point it's like, bro, you don't even know what you like. You don't know what you like, and don't make it confusing. Like, I feel like, I agree with them. I feel like they should, like, pick a style, or at least, like, for a specific breed, be like, okay, I think the realistic looks better on this breed. So then, like, with each new gen, they kind of try to keep that energy, and not being like, no, cartoony, realistic, cartoony, realistic, realistic, cartoony. Like, I don't know. I don't notice it too much in the horses, but sometimes I'm like, man, I don't know. I do agree with this person though. I do think that's something that Star Stable should look at in the future and be like, okay, let's try to pick one thing and not keep changing our mind every 5 minutes. This person also said, I don't care that they won't add male characters. I'm a guy playing the game, and I see people begging for it often, even people who aren't male. I understand why, and it would be cool, but I also understand why they won't, and it doesn't bother me. I don't feel dysphoric, I'm trans, because of it either. My character isn't me, it's just a girl I play. She's cool and living her best life in-game. I think this is an unpopular opinion for sure, and maybe a little bit controversial, but this is something that I've thought about as well. Like, you're really just a character playing the game. That's like if you were playing freaking Mario, and you're like, ugh, I really wish there was like a female character. Like, the stories about Mario saving Peach. Like, I mean, if you want to play like a game where you can be a woman saving a woman or a woman saving a man, like, just play a different game then, or just pretend in your head that Mario's a girl. I don't know. Like, I just think you shouldn't let it bother you so much. Like, I feel like Star Stable has, with the new character things, not animations, the new character update, I feel like you can make your character look a lot more masculine than perhaps in the past. So I think that's definitely something that they've worked on. But again, it's a girl going to her horse summer camp, and it just, I don't know, I just think it's silly when they've clearly already been like, this is what the game's about, and obviously can be switched to male in that way as well, but I don't know. I have to agree with them, and you can cancel me if you want to, but I don't know, like, you're just playing a game and you're playing as a character. Like, obviously this isn't really you, you're just playing a game, and I don't know. I'm just saying I agree with them, and you can come at me with pitchforks and torches, but I don't mind. Okay, the next thing that this person said is, not sure if this is unpopular or not. I don't like how rushed everything is in SSO. Why is my horse running into the wall? I'm literally trying to turn left and it just keeps... Okay, there we go. I hate that new breeds are being released when older breeds, not even old, I mean breeds like the Halflingers or the newest gen Icelandics, aren't even fitted to the new tack. SSO is pumping out horse breeds in new places and quests, but not focusing on basic gameplay features, like fitting tack to most of the Gen 3 horses or fixing bugs. It's really irritating. I can agree with that as well. I get that they obviously need to get money, so obviously they're gonna be like, let's focus on this, even though our players probably don't care about, I mean, they do care about more horses, more horse breeds, different horse breeds coming out, but obviously some like quality of life updates would be great too. I totally agree with the tack. It's really annoying when you're trying to purchase something and it's like, oh, well, just know it only works on this, 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 and this breed. So if you try to put it on this breed, you're gonna die. I just think it's really dumb. Like, I just think that we should let all the tack fit on all horses. As it's already been stated, there's wild horses, magical stuff is going on. It's a fantasy game. This game is clearly not based on real life. I mean, it is in some ways, but it's not. It's a fantasy game, in a fantasy world, and at this point, why not just let all attack fit on all horses? Like, this isn't real life. Like, obviously some tech, I mean, I don't know enough about like horseback riding and how horse tech works in the real world, but just let everything work on all horses. Like, I don't know, I think it's silly to be like, oh, nope, that's not gonna work, especially if it's tack you really like, I don't know, I just think it's dumb. Like, we're already spending money on the game. Like, it just get over it, Star Stable, just get over it. Okay, so this person said, not every Wednesday update has to be some big thing they're putting out. They're putting out updates once a week, for Christ's sake. They don't have to have the time to basically rework the entire map in a week. I agree. I think that maybe it's better that they do smaller updates more frequently than like big updates, because it's like if you have a huge update coming out every single week, there's bound to be like glitches and bugs that happen. And then players are going to be more annoyed when they're like, wow, you're going to bring out this big update and then have all these issues. But it's like, okay, if they're going to do that every single week, what do you expect? Like, they clearly don't have enough time to do all the testing and yada yada. Like, they're trying to appeal to you. And I think it's better if Star Stable doesn't do big updates every Wednesday. I feel like they're doing okay now. Like, they put out a really cool update yesterday about the gardening and stuff. But the update before, I can't even remember what it was, like an update to a quest or something, and then I believe the one before that was the Ardennes. So, I mean, like, that's okay. Like, even if they were just like, hey, we put out a couple side quests for ya, or hey, this week we updated these bugs and glitches we've noticed, hope you enjoy playing a less glitchy game. Like, I would be so fine with that. Like, as long as we still got like one bigger update, like, oh, this new event's coming up, but it doesn't have to be a new event or a huge main story quest line every week. Like, the more time they get to work on the big stuff by just putting out little things each week, it's gonna make the game more enjoyable because they're putting more work and thought into it. So I don't know, I don't know how many people are complaining about Star Stable not putting out big updates all the time, but somebody even replied to this comment saying maybe every Wednesday doesn't have to be an update, and then somebody replied to that comment saying this: I'd much prefer a monthly update that always had something significant, maybe with weekly top-ups during festivals. Like, Star Stable's pretty cool about doing weekly updates. Like, there's a lot of online games that do not do that, and I think that they're doing a great job, like, with the updates in general. I think there's definitely something Star Stable can work on, obviously, as we've said throughout this video, but I don't think, like, they should be pressured into doing, like, these giant things for us every single week when they already work as hard as they possibly can. Like, they're human beings just like the rest of us, so I don't know. I think they should try to focus more on the little things, and then in the meantime they can work on the big things, but don't have to, like, stress about putting them out once a week. Okay, this person said Dino Valley. Just Dino Valley. I hate it. Despise it. Can't stand it. It's a horrible place, far away, difficult to maneuver when you get there, and the snow everywhere is just ugh. I will avoid going there at all costs, not to mention it feels so pointless because they made such a big deal out of it, and now it feels like they kind of forgot about the whole thing. So aside from, like, daily stuff, which I'm not gonna bother with because ugh, nothing interesting ever happens. I also think that it would have been better if it was like before, where you could only take certain horses into Dino Valley if you wanted your horse to perform optimally because of the cold, whereas now you can take any horse without it having any effect on gameplay. And I understand that it's technically more practical and accessible to people who might not be able to afford to buy new horses if needed, but I just like the more realistic aspect. Ignore that I'm missing every jump, I'm trying to read. This is something I agree with. Obviously, it's something I talked about earlier, so I'm not going to go into it again, but I agree. Like, I feel like it was really cool that it was certain horse breeds and then they kind of just took it away for it to be more practical, but I think it was an interesting idea and I wish it was something they hadn't taken away. This person said Arabians don't look so good in SSO. I don't like the look of them and I don't want to buy one either. I completely agree. I saw one Arabian in one of my newer videos and I thought it was cute, but whenever I see the Arabians, they just don't appeal to me. I think it's really just their faces. Like, I don't know, like, they look pointy? I don't know how to explain it. Like, it just looks really odd and I just don't really like it. This person said people shouldn't be mad at Gen 3 Frisian faces because no Frisian in this game has a proper looking face, and it's annoying that no one seemed to see any issue until the Gen 3 came out. I don't know what the Gen 3 Friesian looks like. I don't know if I've seen it before or if I've seen someone riding it and just forgot, but in my video about the Valedale update and the Friesians going away, I bought a Gen 1 model of the Friesian, and I agree that it's kind of goofy, and obviously those are also older model horses, but it doesn't look realistic to me at least. And I haven't seen the Gen 3s, but I think it is kind of silly if you're like, oh my god, why does it look like that? And then not say that to the other ones. That is kind of weird. That is kind of like, girl, open your eyes. I'm just kidding. This person listed a few as well. 1, the new horses are good. Some of them are very pretty. People hating on them just want the game to stay how it was 10 years ago, since that's how it was. 2, oh my god, sorry, I can't read and do these jumps. I literally am not paying attention. Okay, 2, I personally want more wild horses. Not the buyable Jorvik wild horses. Genuine wild horses. Like what's on South Hoof? I think that's the island. If not, correct me please, I rarely go there. As evident by the wild horse breed. I think that would be kind of interesting actually. I thought they meant like the magical horses, but that would be kind of cool. I wish each breed was more diverse in terms of skill. Like, I wish it was more defined, if that makes sense. Like, I wish some horses jumped higher or further, some should run faster, etc. I wish we got the okay, sorry, I didn't read number 4. Number 4. I wish we got the tack set of the Cobb and Starshine Ranch. It looks nicer than most of the actual tack we got. And I fully understand it would be unusual to ride a horse in that, but I want it anyway, lol. They clearly have the mesh for it, so please SSO give it to me. I don't know what they're talking about, but look, if you're gonna put the tack and outfits on NPCs, why not give them to us too? Like, come on SSO. This person said, one comment on here reminded me of how much I always hate how the Mary's animals on the ranch are always the same color. Like the donkeys and foals in games have so many various colors, but no, let's stick to one black foal and one white donkey. Cows and sheep and even chickens have some other colors too. I remember when the ranch donkeys had different colors, but now they're all white. What the heck, SSO? I know it's a small thing, but dang, I'd love for it to change, XD. I think that's honestly really reasonable. I don't know if I've actually been over to Mary's farm before, unless I'm just stupid. But I remember during like the winter village, they would have like the quest with the tornadoes and like the snowstorm and yada yada. And we'd have to go and like find Mary's animals and they would all look identical. I'm like, oh, there's another one. Oh, there's another one that looks exactly the same. And I honestly didn't think about how weird that was, so I feel like seeing them on the farm all looking exactly the same is honestly probably more weird. I don't know, because I'd have to look at it, but yeah, I agree. Like, if we have other kinds of models already in the game, why would we choose like, oh, I'm SSO, and I think we should put a barn here. Yeah, you know, horses, barns, they kind of go together. But with the animals, let's make them all look identical. Yeah, let's just copy and paste that a few times. Yeah, it looks great. I don't know. I agree that is kind of strange. And I don't know. It's just weird. This person said that they think that we should have a starter horse coat option to be all black. They said obviously it's kind of unpopular because you know, it's kind of random, like you pick your starter horse in the beginning and I guess you have the option to change it as well, but that would be kind of cool, honestly. I actually just made a second account because I've been saying I want to make a video like starting SSO over on just like a alt account, and I can't even remember what coat I chose actually, but I feel like there's so many like different brown coats, and obviously that's a popular coat for horses, but it's kind of weird that they don't have like a black coat for a horse. Like, there's obviously horses with black coats. Why is that not an option? Like, are there are there nor black Jorvik warmbloods? I don't understand. This person said that lifetime star riders should have a higher allowance. We paid for better, but we're barely getting enough to buy a horse without saving for 2 months. That without any stable care or buying clothing of any sorts. I agree. Like, I feel like, I mean, I don't expect them to give us like 1,000 star coins every week, but 100 is just such a small amount. Like, I guess you could buy horses from like Fernandad's horse market or something, but those are all older model horses. Like, I think that it would make more sense, like, if you're a star rider, to be able to get more star coins for paying for a membership. I do I like agree and disagree with what they said about how we're like paying more or should have a higher allowance because we paid better. I Lifetime Star Rider is a good deal, but if people initially were like, oh, I don't know if I'm gonna like the game, and just were getting like a monthly subscription, they obviously are gonna end up paying more than the lifetime one, because lifetime, you pay it once, you're done. But if you're like, oh, I'm gonna get it for a few months, and then you stop playing the game, and then you start playing again, you're like, oh, maybe I'll get Star Rider, like, they probably overall spend more. So either way, I agree with what they're saying. I think that we should get a higher allowance. Like, I don't know, even like 200 star coins would be nice, like, every week, because 100 just feels so low, especially when there's horses that come out that are like 900 star coins. It's like, that takes so long to save up, and not everybody can afford to buy star coins all the time. Maybe all they could afford was the membership, and now they have to wait forever to get any new horses. This person said, please shut down the game and create SSO 2 or something. Okay, I think I disagree with that. I never get when games like shut down and then make a new one. Like, I feel like, I don't know, it doesn't really work out the way that they think it's gonna work. I think it just would make more sense to be like, okay, these are the issues we're having, let's try to work on those, instead of, okay, let's start over completely. No, I do not think they should shut down the game. I think that they should just work on the issues that they're having and go from there. Alright, this one said, I realized I don't even need the bus card or circus ticket. My rune wand, I still keep in my inventory because it's cool as well, and as well as, oh my goodness, my pickaxe and fishing line. But all the other items, including the furniture, for use in the future, just sit in storage now. Also, the bottle of Idine's Tears, I apologize if I mispronounced that, are casually sitting around. Like, why can't I just use that the next time the Dark Riders be a pain or the Soul Riders are useless? Think you're gonna fight me, Sabine? Wham, get toasted. Also, we literally have a Shadow Seeker vacuum cleaner, we have a range of weapons, and never get to use them. Okay, maybe I'm not that far in the quest, but I have no idea what the heck they're talking about. But I do agree, like, I feel like some of the items that were necessary, like, back in the day are now totally useless. This is another thing that reminds me of, like, the whole, using horses and certain horses in Dino Valley. Like, the whole bus pass thing was you would wait for the bus to come and pick you up. And I know I complained about Jorvik City, but I still feel like it was fun to be like, oh, I'm waiting for the bus, and now it's just like, okay, click, okay, I'm at Jorvik City. Like, but when you're in Jorvik City, in most of the places, you have to wait for the bus, so it's like, why even get rid of that feature? And it was so fun to, like, get to see the bus, like, drive around and getting to wait for it and seeing, like, other people waiting too. I don't know, that's a feature that I remember thinking was really, it was annoying sometimes if you wanted to get there quickly, but it was so worth it. I don't know, like, that's one thing I wish they would bring back, because it was so funny to, like, just get to wait for the bus and seeing it drive around all silly. I don't know, I wish they never got rid of that, because now that it's gone, I miss it. Also, the thing with the couch, I feel like I heard somebody talk about that recently as well, and they're like, oh, for use in the future, and we get it so early in the game, and for the people that have been playing, like, since release, it's like, girl, when's the future? When's the future that we're gonna get to use this? I just think it's so silly goose. Like, why even say that? Like, are we actually gonna be able to use it? Do we have to wait like 20 years? I don't understand. Okay, this person said the new characters are actually very nice. I like them very much. When I got back into Star Stable and, like, November of last year, I was like, oh, what the heck am I looking at? Because I don't think I had seen the new characters, or I just have no memory of it. And I was like, oh my god, that's so ugly, I miss the old characters. But then I just got used to it, and I honestly think I do like these characters a lot. There are some clothing items that I feel like don't look as nice as they did on the other characters, and vice versa. So there are some pros and cons, but overall I think that I like them, and I do agree. I think a lot of people disliked them at first, and then they got used to it and now can appreciate them. Somebody said that the fact that the tech is newer and better should not affect the prices that much. They should be way lower. Yeah, there's a lot of tech that I feel like is excessively priced just because it's new, or maybe it has good stats, or even ones that don't have any stats I feel like are sometimes so overly priced for literally no reason. And it's like, why? Why? You're already like taking all the money out of my wallet, dude. I need to give you more. They also said training is fun. I agree. I say that as I make a training video, but I do like training. I'll like listen to videos, listen to music. I used to listen to some audiobooks. I'm not listening to any right now though. Like, it's just nice. Like, I kind of just like space out while I'm listening to it, and it's a fun time. Like, I don't get why so many people are anti-training. Like, what the heck do you even do in Star Stable if you're not training? Like, do you do quests? Are you one of those people that just stands at Steve's for hours? Like, what the heck are you doing if you're not training? I guess maybe collecting fireflies now, but before that, I feel like there were so many people that were complaining about training, and I'm like, literally, what are you doing in the game? Maybe role-playing? I have no idea. They also said the tasks are boring as heck. I agree, honestly. There's very few that are, like, entertaining. I try to do, like, the dailies when I can, just to get, you know, the extra Jorvik shillings, but they're so freaking boring. Luckily, they don't take that long, like, mucking and, all the ones by, like, stables and stuff, but it's still like, dude, I don't want to do all that. So I actually managed to get to the end of that one, so I'm going to look at a different post. This person said the quests were always boring, you just got older. I agree. I don't even know if I read the quests when I used to play, like, in 2016, because that's probably when I was the most active compared to now, honestly. And I don't know, I just remember, like, I think I mostly just trained, to be honest, because I was on level 17 for literal years. And I remember, like, when I was really active, I think I played in high school a little bit too, because I remember I was like, oh, I want to hit like level 16 before I turn 16. And that did not happen. I was like, I just never ever wanted to do quests. I feel like I'm always like that for like every game that I play, because I feel like so many of them are just so uninteresting to me, especially because in Star Stable there's like there's usually, I don't think is there any voice acting? I don't think so. It's just like, and it's like, boy, I don't want to listen to that. I don't want to listen to you like humming. What the heck are you doing? Because you guys know, I also play, oh my god, I think I saw that girl the other day. We're both Sylvie. Anyway, you guys know I play Genshin, and in Genshin there's voice acting and stuff, which is really cool. And I'm gonna go to Starshine because I talked about it earlier in the video. Anyway, I'm cutting myself off. In Genshin there's voice acting, but then in some quests there's not voice acting. And I like to try and listen to the ones with voice acting, especially if it has characters I like, but even in Genshin I tend to skip out on a lot of dialogue because I'm like, I don't care, I just want the Primogems. So I agree that some of the quests can be extremely boring. Okay, so I've just kind of been like scrolling through the comments, and so many people are saying they prefer the old models, and okay, I gotta start over that. So I'm like just scrolling through the comments, and so many people are saying that they prefer the old model horses, like generation 1.5, and that's like so crazy to me. I feel like I see so many videos like once newer generations come out and are like, wow, compared to the old model, these are so pretty, or these are so blah blah blah. And it's like, in my last Star Stable video when I was looking at like some old model horses, I was like, wow, these are so ugly. Like, I can't believe these were like what older players had to deal with. the fact that I'm seeing so many comments like, oh, I miss the older models. I'm like, dude, why? Is it nostalgia or do you genuinely like the designs? Because it's just, I don't know. I mean, I'm attached to some of them. Like, I was sad when they updated like our starter horse, and I really like my Self Français. I don't know what generation it is. Is there only one generation of those? I have no idea. But mine's like an older model, and I love it because it looks so silly goofy. But otherwise, I'm like, man, but I also have memories with those horses. Like, of course I'm gonna have memories with my starter horse and the Self Français I bought because I wanted to have like a white horse for winter to be like a snow. I talked about this. Oh my god, I hit my microphone. I talked about this before, so I'm not gonna go into it, but it's just like, I have memories with those horses, which is I think the only reason that I appreciate them so much, whereas like, I think the newer gens are like genuinely more well done compared to most of the older models. What the heck is going on? Are you kidding me right now? I don't know if I can make it. Wait, what the? I didn't even, okay, what the heck is going on? I never have this many issues, it's just because I'm freaking talking. And the controls are a little different here for some reason. Okay, this person basically, I'm not gonna read their comment because I keep getting distracted and failing the races miserably, but basically they said like they don't mind if Star Stable reuses animations, and that's honestly something I agree with. Again, I don't ride horses in real life. I've been horseback riding like very, very, very few amount of times, so I don't like know exactly how horses gallop depending on the breed and stuff. Like, I guess I could watch videos and stuff, but I'm just not that dedicated. Like, look, I like Star Stable, I like horses, but I don't go horseback riding. I don't practice. Like, it's just not worth it to me to go look up horse videos unless it's like a breed that I really like, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not a real horse girl. But like, I don't care enough if they reuse stuff. Like, do what you want, Star Stable. I think the gallops look good. I'm not gonna complain. Do your thing. Please? Please? Hello. Why can I not? Why is it not letting me click that one? It's gonna make me crazy. Is that a glitch? Is that hello? Okay. This is another person basically saying that older SSO was not as great as everybody tries to make it seem like it was, and they think that people are just like so obsessed with nostalgia. And again, I agree, because this person said they've been playing since like 2014, and the game came out like what, 2010? I have no idea. I'm just guessing, honestly. But I completely agree. I think that although they've been playing longer than I have, I've seen like old SSO videos, and I feel like the game always looked so like blurry. Like, I don't know if they just had like, is it the contrast that makes it look bright? I don't know. But I feel like it always like looked blurry, like everything was just like freaking shining, and it's like, literally, why does it look like that? Like, whenever I see old videos, I'm like, how the heck did people play this game back then? Like, it looks actually terrible. And like the old stables where you could only, I think you could only have like a handful of horses, like compared to now where you can have like a giant stable and have like a bunch of horses. Like, I don't get why people are so obsessed with old Star Stable when there's so many things that have made the game so much better, and they're like, no, I like the old one. I like the cartoony horses, and I missed when our stable was so small that it could barely fit anything. Like, the horse could barely even fit in the stable. And I liked when the game would like shine into my eyes and my eyes were bleeding, and the game was hypnotizing me to be obsessed with it. So that's why I'm so dedicated. Yeah, nostalgia. Yeah, I'm not even gonna play because I miss old Star Stable. Like, that's literally how people are. And it's like, dude, why are you so obsessed with the game if you don't even like it? Like, literally go find a different game then. Or you're just gonna complain about everything. Like, I don't get that with people that like constantly complain about a game that they play. It's like, dude, why the heck are you playing it then? Clearly you don't enjoy it if you're always complaining about it. I'm literally gonna go to Valedale just to collect some fireflies because I just don't want to go over my XP. Actually, No, I won't. I'll do the races, and then I'll probably collect fireflies while I do it. Alright, continuing on with the unpopular opinions. Somebody said, I wish SSO completely removed the super old models and compensated the players. Don't get me wrong, the Gen 1 Arabian is one of my favorite horses ever, and I know the Gen 1 Andalusians and Frisians are some of people's favorites, but getting rid of old assets would remove bugs and let them work on upgrading the freaking engine. Add weather, better hair mechanics. I missed the jump. Let me jump. Okay. Better cutscenes, etc. It's not impossible game mechanics. What the heck did I just... Lord. I don't get how people do these videos. Like, I literally am so focused on reading, I can't see what I'm doing. Games do it all the time. Plus the mix of the generations and different styles kills me. Honestly, I think that kind of makes sense. I think it would be kind of... I don't know, it would be kind of sad if they like deleted all of them, like even the ones that you have. Like, I would not like that, but if they deleted all the ones that we already have, I feel like I wouldn't be phased, because honestly the only reason I bought the Gen 1 Frisian was because I knew they were going away, and I was like, oh well, I kind of want to have one now since I always wanted one back then, and you know, it can be like nostalgic, but I don't think I agree with getting rid of them entirely. But I also do get the point that they bring up, like, well, if they do that, like, they can get rid of more bugs and glitches and yada yada. So I don't know, I get a little bit of both sides, but I think I would rather the players get to keep the horses. And obviously if Star Stable was like, hey, we're getting rid of a bunch of these Gen 1 horses, these are the ones we're getting rid of, like, here's your time to buy them if you want. But yeah, I don't know, I just don't think I'd want to get rid of them, like, from people's inventories and stuff. I don't know when this Wildwood or Hollow Woods Firefly thing became a thing. I'm assuming maybe after this comment was made, but they said probably not unpopular, but Wildwoods and Redwood Point really suck. Is this Wildwoods? Hollowwoods? Because Hollowwoods used to look so horrible before they updated it. Like, it was just like this weird moldy green. And now it actually is colored, actually looks woodsy and fun. So if this was before the update, I totally agree. But if it was after, I'm gonna be like, bro, what the heck are you talking about? This person said, I think this community complains way too much. Yes, SSO is special, but everyone always complains about everything, like the beta characters. Of course, SSO will make them look childish and small. Children are the main way of money making. That's honestly like a really reasonable response towards that. I'm gonna scare that horse again, aren't I? Yup. That's honestly really reasonable. I know a lot of people hated the characters, and as I said, I'm gonna get a dangerous fall. As I've said, obviously people are gonna have different opinions about the horses and the characters and how everything looks, but I do think that Star Stable is genuinely doing like a good job. I think the community just gets mad about everything, and it's like they're never gonna win everyone. No game is ever gonna win everyone, because that's not how it works. Everybody's gonna complain about something. It doesn't matter what it is. That's just like how games work, or anything really nowadays, because social media lets people get their thoughts out better and further, and that means they can also complain more, and especially complain to creators like directly. So I definitely do think that people are gonna be annoyed with anything. Not everybody is gonna be happy with every update, and I'm sure Star Stable already knows that. And I think they should just keep focusing on what they want to see for the game, but also making sure to listen to the players and being like, oh, some players have said they're interested in adding this, or maybe we could add this feature. Like, I don't think they should totally ignore the players to see like how the players are feeling, but I don't think they should feel like they have to cater, oh my god, cater to the players entirely. Okay, this person lists a bunch, and the first thing I already disagree with. They said old SSO was just as bad as new SSO. And I just have to disagree with that. I feel like old SSO was so boring. There wasn't as much stuff to do, and I don't know. everything just looked really bland. Like, I think it's so weird that they think it's just as bad. That's just very strange to me. SSO making new horses a lot isn't a problem. I agree. It can be kind of overwhelming, like price-wise, but obviously no, they're not forcing people to buy the horses. That's up to the players themselves if they're gonna buy them or spend the money on them. Why am I always stuck? I just want to jump and I'm freaking stuck. Can I, like, not be right here, bro? Oh my god, I couldn't even finish the race because I got stuck in a tree. I tried for like 2 minutes to get out of it and it wouldn't let me. So that's kind of freaking annoying. But whatever, I'll just do a different race, okay? Like, I'm not dealing with SSO being so toxic like that. I'm gonna go to Golden Leaf because I don't know where to go. Okay, this person said, the magical and once limited edition horses should stay limited and never come back. I don't care about your feelings. You can't have everything. I feel like that's kind of aggressive. I don't know, like I feel like, it's hard to say because like it's cool that they're limited edition, so you could be like, oh, I have this rare horse, like it's not available anymore. But obviously also people start playing the games at different times, so they might be like, oh my god, this is such a cool horse, like I'm so mad or I'm so upset that I can't get it. And at least it would be cool if they did reruns. Like, I don't know how often they even release the magical horses, but like, I don't know. Just being like, oh, we're re-releasing these ones, like hope you guys are excited, because that's what they did with, I think it was the initial Jorvik wild horses, like the smaller horses, the blue, the black and red, and the like white and purple one, because I didn't have those. I think maybe I wasn't playing during that time, or maybe I just didn't start playing the game yet, but I remember thinking like, oh my god, like I wish I got those because I really love the wild horses. And they eventually like came back and I thought that was pretty cool, so I could actually get them. And granted, I don't ride them that much, but I have 2 out of the 3 maxed currently, so I don't know. I think I do like that they bring them back, but obviously making it limited edition, I don't know, you can like show off and be like, hey, I got this horse, yeah, you can't get it anymore, I'm so much cooler than you. And the same can be said about like Gen 1s that have been removed about the game, so I don't know. I think SSO should figure out whatever they want to do about it. I don't know. I'm just saying. Alright, this person has a few things that they would like to say. The game has so much potential, but the devs just don't do anything with it. There are so many different ways to make the game more immersive, some of them super simple as well. Imagine if we had dynamic weather, it could be randomly rain for everyone, etc. I think that would be super cool. They do that in Genshin, where it goes from like day to night, but it's not like the same day cycle, basically like how Star Stable actually correlates with real life. Genshin is just like, while you're playing it, it'll go from like day to night, and sometimes it'll be raining or storming or whatever, and then your character will have like different voice lines. And I think that's something really cool. Like, does it rain anywhere in this game? I feel like it was raining when I was doing a quest before. In some races it's like randomly raining for some reason, and championships, but it would be cool if like randomly it just like started raining. You know, that could be fun for like role plays too, like, oh guys, let's get out of the rain, you know, let's get to the stable, blah blah blah. I don't roleplay on SSO, but it could give you more roleplay options. So I think that would be something cool that they added, because I personally just love the rain, and adding that like as a feature would be kind of cool. This person also said, imagine if we could decorate our stable to make it like our own and more personal. And they also said like it would be cool to have like our own room, and then in parentheses they said like, wasn't this hinted at like a few years ago? And I still don't really understand that. Like, why did they give us that couch just to never be able to use it? I also think it would be so cool to like, even in the stable, just like have our own room, because like where the heck do we sleep? Like in the hay with the horses? So I don't know. I agree. I think we should be able to have some sort of space that we can kind of like make our own. But yeah, I just hit level 15 and Rainaura is maxed. Finally! I genuinely have no idea how long I've been recording this video. It had to have been at least over an hour, and I have to pee. But I love you all so much. Thank you so much for listening to me ramble and watching me crash over and over again. Let me know what else you guys would like to see. I am open to ideas. And you guys are so cool. And I'll see you guys later, okay? Bye!